Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan. We're looking at a Honda Stepwagon. This one here is a 3-row 7-seater from 2008 with 185,000 kilometers on it. So fairly high mileage on this one. It was bought from auction here in Japan for export over to Canada. We'll just take a look at the condition of the car and compare it to the auction inspection sheet. Overall, I would think that this one is probably of pretty good value. It's higher mileage, so you're going to get it for a lot cheaper as a result. And then the body is not in perfect condition as well, so that's going to lower the price. So with auction buying, you can choose the condition that you want, and if you have a price in mind or condition in mind, you can target that. So a lot of people are going to be interested in something that they can use like this for a good long time after. And if you can get it for a few $1,000s less, it's definitely a bargain for some people. Now, it does come with the K20 engine. This is a 2-liter engine, not the sports variant of it, but the non-sporty variant like this that comes in the minivans and the regular sedans is known to be a very reliable vehicle. The oil and the coolant both check out and both look okay. It doesn't seem to have any mechanical issues. The AC works, the shifting is fine, the brakes feel good, steering is good, front end is nice and tight. So it looks like a nice vehicle you can start using right away. The only downside really is it has a number of areas of scratches on the body, but the interior is fairly clean. So I would say overall, a good win. You know, if you do go with a higher mileage car such as this one, you tend to take a bit of a risk. You know, the higher the mileage, the more things could be wrong with it. But I would say that it paid off in this case. Now, taking a look at the body here, you can see there's A4, A3, A4, A2, 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 and S1. So the A is the scratch and the 4 is high level scratch. So 4, 3, 2, 1 in terms of severity. S1 is a little bit of rust, and so I'll point that out. It's really not that bad. And then no sales points, no notes. Oh, 8-seater. I'm sorry. So I guess it's 3 per. So 1, 2 in the first row, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and this is an auction grade 3.5 interior B, exterior B. And I'd say that that is, I guess, a little bit accurate. Maybe exterior C is a little bit more accurate, but the interior is nice and good and it doesn't smell heavily of cigarettes. I believe it's been smoked in. There's no cigarette damage anywhere, but it has a heavy smell of air freshener when you go inside, and I'll come back to the interior in just a sec. And you'll usually find that's the case in cars that have been smoked in. You got a little bit of discoloration in that plastic flip down monitor, but it doesn't really look like cigarette damage in the headliner. If it were my car, I'd probably want to get that air freshener scent taken out, but you know, a lot of people do like air freshener, hence why there's a market for them in the first place. And so this is a 2008 Stepwagon Spada S, which is a trim level of the Stepwagon, and Smart Style Edition. Not too sure what that is, but probably things like aero kit and wheels. Okay, no sales points, no notes. Right into the report here, it says windshield rock chip, interior dirty, door mirrors and wheels scratched, steering wheel peeling, seat stain, very small scratches, small dents, and I already went over this. So let's take you for a tour on the outside now. And a car's coming, or a truck. So I'm just going to run away from it. Yoips! What is it? It's a Dyna. Okay, back to the Stepwagon. This generation of Stepwagons, now that's 15 years old already. But it really could be close to a modern car. The only thing it's missing is the LED headlights that you'll see in most modern cars. But I'd say it looks good. It doesn't look dated at all. I really like the look of the headlights. You know, it's a minivan. It can only be styled so much, but I think that they pulled it off pretty well here. And I've always really liked the Stepwagons ever since the first generation. They are very basic, but that's what some people want. And I love the boxy design that gives you the most amount of interior room as you can in the same footprint. And it's just simple and good. A lot of times, sometimes I feel with some cars, you just start getting complicated unnecessarily. And this turns into things you can be disappointed about when they break. Like I just shot this Lexus LS 460. Fantastic car, great value for money. Really good, nothing's broken on it. But you've got like electronic rear window shade. and air conditioning in the seats, and like all sorts of things that are good to have. But then once they break, you're like, oh, here is 6 broken things in my car. I don't know, maybe this is a long way of me saying I like simplicity in my life. And the Stepwagon hits that. And it's nice. It doesn't feel cheap. Although it is, I guess at this time they had 3 minivans, and this would be their middle of the range minivan. It's good. I think it drives well. I think it drives more like a car than some minivans. Still a lot of room, power doors on both sides. Headlights. We'll talk about the damages now on the exterior. Headlights are cloudy. This goes for both of them. I think it's a fairly nice looking headlight, but the cloudiness really takes a lot away from basically the whole car. You can polish these up, or you can try to replace them if you want. They are a fairly large unit though, so sending them from Japan to Canada might be fairly pricey. Okay, the front bumper is generally good, but we do have a lot of rock chips in the hood, and one of them is rusty. This is your S1, so as you can see, if you're expecting rust on the car, you're probably expecting more than that. But there are rock chips here, 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 a big one here, 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 and this one's rusty a little bit as well. Okay, a front camera in 2008 would have been a fairly crazy thing to have, but yeah, that's when they started getting them on Japanese minivans. And then fog lights down here. And you got a scuff here, scuff here, scuff here. This whole fender has a lot of little scratches. I have a feeling like it was fairly tight to get into the parking spot for this car. You probably have to get to it from the front because most people park backwards, as you can see down there. And people would just brush past this and scratch it a bit. It's not a lot. I mean, it is a lot of scratches, but it's not deeply scratched. You might be able to polish some of it out. Just having trouble seeking for the focus there. Okay, and yeah, and it continues up here a little bit as well. This door has a little bit of it in this section, and then some fairly more serious scratches here, like this one here, this one here, this one here, this oddly shaped one. I don't know how that happens. And then the A4, I would think, is this one here, because it's the biggest out of all of them. Another scratch there, another one here. And then see how this is a weird color? That's due to rain contamination. And it kind of has like a shiny effect to it. Yeah, that can be washed off. It's also on here as well. Okay, I'll show you how the sliding doors work just because I'm here. And it works the same on both sides. It doesn't have any weird sound on either of them, and I have tested that. Okay, coming back here, we got a scuff here, and there's a scratch here, and it looks like burnt paint on the corners here. So I don't know how you get burnt paint. This one here is just a scuff, or maybe some touch-up paint has been put on top, but and then they tried to polish it to make it nice, and it looks like some of the clear coat around there has been taken off. Yeah, so some scratches there. Remember, we're talking A4 and A3 on the bumpers. And some pretty big scratches here. Again, I'm going to fix my own car style. I mean, fair enough. Fixing a car at a shop is expensive because it is very laborious. But, yeah, it does take away from the car. This side's actually in better condition than the other side, which you'll find a lot. I'm not sure why that is. Got some shallow scratches, again, a lot of them. So I would recommend, if this were my car, I'd take it to a body shop and say, hey, guy with a professional eye, have a look and see what you can do with this. And if you can't do any, then give me the car back. But if you can, try to make this car look a little bit fresher. That's what I did with my minivan when I first bought it. And probably spent about $1,500, got a couple of areas repainted, and the interior cleaned up and stuff. Okay, speaking of interior, let's go have a look. We'll start with the front and move our way back. The doors are nice and big, and the floor of it is nice and low, meaning it's very easy to get in and out of these, incredibly so. We have a fairly normal door cart here. It has a spot for a drink at the front and then 2 compartments to put things in. You have scratches on this section here and on this section and on this section. Have a look. Okay. The seats, they're pretty normal, pretty basic seats. I like a nice light seat with light padding. I find the more comfortable that the car is supposed to be, the less comfortable I find it on a longer trip. Because if it sags in too much, it gives me a strain in the butt. Some wear on the seat there, the sagginess. Okay. Steering wheel, the auction sheet said that there's peeling on it. The peeling is visible, but it doesn't really distract too much from use. Let's get some focus on the hand. There we go. Okay, buttons for opening your doors here, or you can do what I just did and yoink the handle out. Weak. You can up and down your seat if you want with this, full mechanical. And a full flat pass through, which is kind of nice. Then you can get into the back seats very easily. Lots of compartments in these, which is one of the things I really like about the Stepwagon. You have stuff, you have lots of places to put it. Now, drinks is the only exception. You get that one for your drink holder, and some of them come with a console here, but this one doesn't. The consoles usually flip down to allow you to walk between. But as far as I can tell, no drink holders that... Oh, there is some. Ta-da! It's dirty, but ta-da! A compartment here. That one has your BCAS card for Japanese TV. Compartment here. Compartment here. A little tray to put things here. And then these. Yeah, like dashboard extra glove boxes. And then the glove box itself is right here. Okay, I like this gauge design. You can kind of see right now it's not displaying anything, so it's just the default. And that will turn on brighter once you turn it on. And completely off once you're done. Okay, has a nice little window here. Come on, give me some focus. There we go. I'm not sure why, but I always like that little styling cue. Some light can pass through, and yeah. Airbag there and airbag there, and I believe it's just those 2. Yep, just have a quick look at the pillars. No curtain airbags on this one. Okay, let's go into the back section now. I must say it's really easy to get into the 3rd row in this, which is great. It's a little bit dark, isn't it? Okay, tons and tons and tons of leg room. Minivans will do that for you. Little place to rest your head if you want. You can also tilt this back. And just give me a second. I'm going to see how sleep-friendly this is. Could be better. You got the bump there. Sometimes car makers have the bump and sometimes they don't. This one is the bump style. Okay, so the seats are dirty, quite dirty. So probably some kids have been in here with the barbecue sauce. I don't know what that is. It really doesn't look that bad, that hard to clean out. But to get into the rear, check this out. You pull. One and done, and it's easy to pull. It's not even a stiff handle. And then in you go. And the back seats, definitely usable for adults. For sure. And then once you're in here, how do you do this? Down and then up. Couldn't be easier. How do you get out? I don't know. I'm going to reach over here and grab the handle. I don't think that's the way you're supposed to do it. There's usually like a pull strap or something in the back. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Okay, and these seats can also go back and forth. Right now they are in the full back position. And then they can hook up to this if you want to get the seats stowed out of the way. Looks like you get a place to put drinks. This person doesn't, but you get the subwoofer, so that's even better. You can be thirsty, but you can still rock out in the back of your minivan. Okay, close it up. I currently have that seat in a slightly more reclined position, just because that's what I think looks best for the photos. Okay, and cup holders available to you there and in here. Close this off and I'll show you the trunk. I do like those taillights. Quite nice. Stepwagon, spelled kind of funny. Stepwagon and Spada, which I think it eventually branched off to its own car. I think that the Spada became a little bit smaller than a Stepwagon after this generation. Okay, so a little bit of scratches in there, not the worst. Some more in there. Okay, even with the seats in the full back position, it's a decent amount of space inside. And for your full family to go, including your doggy if you want. Okay, no signs of any repairs being done to it. Gonna close this off. So it looks like some mild scratches could be taken care of. Some of the larger ones can probably be repainted. And then the interior doesn't really need anything done to it. I think you're otherwise good to go. Okay, so that's all for this one. As usual, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.